Upgrade your shit.
Hey everyone, I'm Coach RT3 from the Upgrade Guys, and welcome to part one of this series. One of the positions that I love training out of is combat base. Combat base is a great position to train out of because you can train a lot of different aspects of your lower half of your body. And one of the things that if you are having a hard time with, let's say, your deep squat, or that you go into deep squat and you just need to do some extra accessory work and mobility work in your deep squat, this will be a great setup for you to just kind of get working on. So I've got a couple yoga blocks here to start out with, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up in combat base first so that you can see what that's like. So we're here and I'm resting back on my back leg, and I've got a deep knee bend on this front leg. Now, this may be uncomfortable for a lot of people, mainly because on that back leg, you're now asking for a lot of plantar flexion on this back leg. So you're asking for a lot of plantar flexion on that ankle there, and you just may not have the degree of plantar flexion that feels comfortable. So I'm going to use these yoga blocks here, and I'm going to place them underneath my hips, and I'm just going to sit on them. So now I'm sitting on them. It's a little bit more of a comfortable position. Now you may have issues with the knee as well. So deep knee bend, if deep knee bend is not a good thing for you, then we can come up out of that even a little bit further. We can get a higher position on the yoga blocks. We can place something behind the knee, place something underneath the foot, and we can sit up a little bit higher. Now that we're in this position, we can train a lot of different aspects of our body, and that's really awesome. So on the back side, we're able to train plantar flexion. On the front side, we're able to train dorsiflexion. We're able to train a little bit of the knee, and we're able to train hip flexion as well. So this is an awesome setup. I really enjoy it. In this very first portion, what I want to address is hip flexion. So let's get started. So I'm going to get into my deep combat base here position, and I'm going to bring that leg in nice and tight. Okay, and so from here, I'm in this deep level of hip flexion. I'm just going to play around with my pelvis just a little bit to see if there's any lines of tension that I can find in my hip there that I want to work on and play with. So I'm going to shift to side. I'm going to shift back and forth. We're going to find the spot that's good for you. You can feel that spot. I found one, and it stretches the back of my hamstring there and the capsule of my hip there. So I'm feeling all of that tissue there stretching. I'm holding that there. Now that I've been able to access that tissue, I'm going to just passively stretch that for a bit and hold for 2 minutes. Once I've breathed and held for 2 minutes and allow my nervous system to become comfortable in that deep amount of stretch that we're not accustomed to, I'm going to begin to train those tissues. So those lengthened tissues on the back there, now I want to train them. So I'm going to start to make my foot a little bit heavier into the floor, and I'm going to start to drag my foot into the floor. I'm going to start to activate those tissues on the back side, the hamstring tissues, and I'm going to try to shorten those tissues a little bit more. I'm going to ramp up to my maximum voluntary contraction, or my greatest, safest effort. And then in 3, 2, 1, I'm going to switch directions, and I'm going to work the front side of my leg, trying to dig a little bit more hip flexion. So trying to pull in towards my abdomen and create more hip flexion as I drive this knee up. Now my foot's not going to lift off because I'm at end range. I'm not going to go anywhere here. And then relax. Okay, I would do a few cycles of that, progressive tissue and regressive tissue. Remember, a slow ramp on the lengthened tissue, and then immediately into the shortened tissue the other direction. So do a few cycles of that with some long passive holds in between, and that should be great for you. All right, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and give us a like, share it with a friend. Also, click down below and go to theupgradeguys.com to check out our 15-minute mobility snack, where we flesh out a little bit more about what you can do in this combat base position with different aspects of the training. Tune in for part 2, where we discuss ankle dorsiflexion and how we can attack that from this position.
Upgrade your shit.